2024 for each of the 12 signs. I'm Lada from AstroladaOfficial, and this May is such a joy compared to April. All planets are moving direct, so things will go more according to plans. There is a powerful first activation of the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, so finally what I promised you of the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction will start unfolding from you with the new moon in Taurus. This abundance, opportunities that will support you for the next 14 years. You see the first signs of it materially from May. Then we have the Jupiter-Venus conjunction and the Jupiter-Sun conjunction. This month is just beauty. It smells of champagne and caviar and sweet-sounding melody and nymphs dancing naked. this has this Taurian lushness and beauty of Jupiter-Venus sign and abundance and camaraderie. So it's and then we have Jupiter entering a new sign. I'm gonna cover each of the 12 signs, how Jupiter will affect you for the next 12 months. And of course we have Mars being reborn. I'm not gonna give it off, but oh, it is exciting. Okay, I really love this month. But before we start, I have created a short tutorial for an hour and a half, just $9.99 for each of the 12 signs, whoever is interested in it, to how each of the 12 signs, their first and second marriages, and how their life changes after marriage. For example, Aries and Libra, their financial situation is intimately connected with their partnership. So it really changes for the better or worse, usually for the better. Pisces, for example, they can have property much more easily after they get married. Or do you know that Scorpios are more likely, and Taurus are more likely to have hidden relationships, and we're talking ascendants here mostly, and moon, or to marry foreigners or someone from a different religion. Or Aquarians have a pattern of marrying someone from a different country as well. And I'll explain to you, it's fascinating. You know that the second marriage of some signs is much better, naturally inclination, than the second marriage is much better than the first. For other signs, the first marriage would be better than the second one, just because you're born under a certain ascendant. Anyway, thank you so much. Check it out. It's fantastic. It's really enjoyable. It's just $9.99 on the description below. And now let's begin. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. May starts with a bang. The god of war, the planet that rules you, Mars, is being reborn. So your power is coming back, Scorpios. For the last 7 months, Mars was invisible. Mars is the planet that stays invisible the longest of all planets. Usually the others would be, 30, 40 days or 5 days. But Mars, 7 months, it was gone. And if you're a strong influence Scorpio, maybe your life was a bit more unpredictable when your planet is invisible, more unpredictable over the last 6-7 months. Or maybe not so much happening because it's invisibility, something new brewing. But now this new thing is being born. And you're going to start seeing and feeling the force coming back into you from the beginning of May. In most places in the world, Mars becomes visible at the beginning of May, some more northern territories, whatever, it might be a bit earlier or later. But this life, your planet is reborn. The ancient gave the most importance of the appearance and disappearance of planets. Mars being reborn, you're coming out of the dark, you're coming out on the stage. Something new, life force is being infused in you because you're Mars, Mars rules you. What is this that is being born? It's in the 6th house. What can it be? Well, it can be a newfound strength and power for some work projects. 6th house is your employment, employees. If you have some projects that you have to do, they're more practical. It's your daily routines. You might born a newborn passion for exercise. 6th house is exercise, how we keep our mental and health balance, 6th house is newfound passion for a routine of something, new job that can be born for you, new job or new work project that you start on, and where it's gonna be asking you over the next year and a half, because Mars stays visible for a year and a half. It starts the cycle here, so it starts with some health changes you do, hopefully very positive, because Mars is hopefully not some health condition that arises that is Mars showing nature inflammatory. It is a possibility, but you have the fighting power over it, because Mars in the sixth house really gives us a great ability to fight disease, great ability to not to give up to a disease, to, you know, and it very much is here. If you not just if you decide to win over a disease, many times you can, and to tackle it, to overcome some health or some unhealthy condition. Sixth house is unhealthy habits as well. It's healthy and unhealthy habits. Whether your habits are, you know, to wake up in the morning and drink a beer, or whether your habit is to wake up in the morning and exercise, Mars can increase the passion towards such things. But because I really love that Mars is in Aries, its own sign, it has more purity, more dignity, you would find this inspiration towards healthier habits and tackling and being ruthless with unhealthy habits. Because Mars is this shining knight when armor, when it's in Aries, is strong, is dignified. So it gives you strength and power to tackle over the next 1.5 years or 2 while Mars is visible, your weak habits, your weak daily routines, to train like a soldier, to organize your day like a soldier, like a general, to kind of even a bit more regimented, but it will fill you up with, it's a promise of me. If you organize your routines in a more, and Mars is, it's a bit innovative, but innovate, change something in your routines, in your habits, and you have the discipline. Mars, it has a warrior discipline, you know. And you'll get great results, and you'll get renewed life energy, which is Aries. So also the sixth house is tackling illnesses. What is it? To tackle newfound strength, to tackle a debt of some sort. Debt. Sixth house is that. What else? I can't think for other stuff right now. So just think in that line there with the sixth house and Mars being reborn. And I have to warn you, there is a possibility for more inflammatory conditions with Mars, high temperature, inflammation, and Rahu expanding it even more. And sixth house is litigation, quarrelsomeness, criticism, especially in your work group when you're working or whatever. So there can be the appearance of some arguments with the work group, but also more motivation to get something done, to tackle up a problem. Sixth house is the house of problems. Mars is the problem solver. Perfect place for Mars. You go, it means there will be problems possibly for 1.5 years, but you're tackling them. You're not sweeping them under the carpet. And with the passion of Mars and Rahu, you sort a lot of, especially practical material issues around, and you bam, 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 check. Okay, then the other big event that's happening is the new moon on the 8th of May. But why is this important? Because it activates for the first time over the next 14 years the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that happened on the 20th of April. And many people said, oh, nothing happened. Yes, it's a 14-year cycle. You will start seeing something happens when it gets activated over the next 14 years by a planet. The first super powerful activation is on May the 8th, and for the next 2 weeks by a new moon. The sun and the moon are on very close to the degree of the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. So go back to my video in April and watch it, because I say what Jupiter-Uranus conjunction can bring to you. Now you're going to start seeing the manifestation of it for the first time in May from the new moon. And after that, Venus activates it, and the sun and the moon activated, Venus activates it. Beautiful planets are activating the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in your 7th house. So opportunity growths through others, meeting new people that can change your life over the next 14 years, that down the line can become a source of abundance and growth, almost value, more even material opportunities. A new falling in love with someone can come. But as I said, the activation comes, or new business partnerships that can appear, new people, not necessarily just sexual partners, new people that expand your horizons, open you to the world, to things you didn't know. They're like a windfall for you. They say, look, take a look at this, and you discover something that gives you meaning, that inspires you, that activates your abundance and wealth manifestation potential over the next 14 years. But somehow, because it's in the opposite house from you, it's in the seventh house, it can come from external source. Seventh house is not always other people that this new moon activates now, but it's also external circumstances that kind of happen to you rather than through your own willpower, but it's for good, something external. So open yourself, build bridges. What is coming to me from outside? And then you react to it. You know, when the seventh house is activated, you first see what the opportunities are. You don't make them yourself. And then you act on them and something beneficial will come to you. So yeah, there's powerful activation there, where they start a project with another, whether it's some contract or some agreement or some new connection that you create. Plus Jupiter, Venus, first the sun, Jupiter meets with the sun on the 18th. The two amazing planets, Jupiter and Sun, they start a new 1-year cycle in your seventh house. So for the 1 year ahead, there is a possibility for you to meet benevolent partners, people that open up horizons for you, new clients, new collaborators. So open up yourself. Then Venus and Jupiter meet on the 23rd. Go to some social event around that time, from the 18th till the 23rd, 24th, while those three planets, Sun, Venus, and Jupiter, are together in your seventh house. Or if someone calls you, like, be somewhere social where you can meet people, or online or whatever, because Uranus is present, it might be online. But someone can come in your life, or if you meet someone new, even if you don't immediately recognize the potential that this person can unlock in your life, somewhere down the line during a new activation over the next 1 year, because as I said, Jupiter and Sun is 1 year cycle that it starts in seventh house, Venus and Jupiter 1 year cycle. Over the next 1 year, there will be something that comes positive from some people that you met, or something good that comes to you from others. Or some contract that you signed now, and so on. So it is exciting. Build bridges, connect with others, put yourself out in the public eye. You can become viral. I remember someone's business going viral when Jupiter was starting new cycles in their seventh house. Like overnight, it blowed up, and now you have Uranus there, and it happened only just with Jupiter. You have Jupiter, Venus, the Sun. So if you want to reach out more people, seventh house is others, be more popular, or new clients or something, or reach out, new relationship, companionship. Now it's the activation, and I wish it for you, Scorpios. My boy has a crush on his best friend. I mean, not this kind of crush, but he for the first time has a best friend. He's enamored with him. He wants to do everything together. And that kind of seventh house is very activated for my Scorpio rising boy as well. But maybe he'll have even more now in May. And then at the same time that all those activations happen in your seventh house, on the 23rd of May, there is new moon in your second house. It's a very good new moon. I really like it. It's Sagittarian in nature. It's about abundance. It's about overdoing it a bit because it's opposite Venus and Jupiter. It can be good time for food, for five senses indulgence. Jupiter is overdoing things. Sagittarius is with the full moon, Venus is, and Neptune trine allowing you, so good food, good wine, whatever, the five senses. Maybe you might go buy shopping for clothes. Second house is anything valuables, possessions, things you consider beautiful, attractive, valuable. Yeah, but you might be prone to overspending or overeating. Be careful around that time for that. But otherwise it will be, you feel like it's good to spend money, but there is some focus there on money, on resources, on possessions, on valuables, on good smells, or any project connected to food, to money, any project connected to securities, any project connected to maybe a fulfillment, fruition, seeing the green light, benefiting in some way from it as well, financially. All right. So, and then the next biggest event, Scorpios, is that Jupiter will move from your seventh house on the 25th. But remember, the themes of the 7th house stay relevant for another year. And if you say, oh, I'm single and I never met someone when Jupiter was in my 7th house, not even in May. I will give you a perfect example. I met someone when Jupiter was in my 8th house, because before it left my 7th, it made us it started the Jupiter-Venus new cycle in my 7th house. And before the cycle finished, within 7 months, the cycle was 11 months or something. Before it finished, when Jupiter was already in my 8th house, I met my soulmate. So remember, even if you're still single or you're in an unhappy relationships even though Jupiter is leaving your 7th house, Jupiter's influence is staying there with the new cycles. 3 new cycles started over the next whole year almost. So opportunity for very special someone, or marriage, or taking it to the next level. And the someone you meet will have Jupiterian, Uranian qualities. It's like good fortune, knowledgeable, it's good karma, energy, it's, But Jupiter moving into your 8th house over the next 12 months, even though you won't see immediately the results, but over the next 8 months will make you very intuitive. It can even create some spiritual awakenings for some of you, because the 8th house rules the chakra system. Jupiter can expand the chakras, the energy field. Jupiter can make you have psychological breakthroughs and psychological healings, because 8th house is where we store the trauma. And Jupiter in your 8th house can start spinning the chakra faster, so you process the emotions of the trauma. So some psychological work is amazing. The best time to do psychological work to release yourself from physical ailments that have been there chronically for a long time, or psychological low vibration like depression, sadness, neurosis, anxiety you've been having for a while, because all those things that are chronic conditions, they start in this 8th house with unprocessed feelings. And Jupiter going there Jupiter is the healer, the light bringer, the knowledge bringer, the awareness. So some realizations will start happening alchemically within you that can allow for healing, for release of heavy tension, emotion, anxiety, and so on. I can advise you truly to work with someone. It can happen spontaneously, but if you work with you can find really the right healer. Already Jupiter Uranus conjunction in the 7th house. 7th house is to work with someone one-on-one, whether it's a counselor, a healer, or a doctor, whatever. But 8th house is energy healing as well. So Jupiter can give some alternative healings, or it's almost like you heal the soul and the body follows. So spontaneous healings and so on over the next 1 year can be a great possibility. Also great time for research over the next 1 year with Jupiter in your 12th house. Great. You might become very interested in 8th house topics. Scorpios are already, 8th house is Scorpio energy. They're already naturally knowledgeable and interested in that, but they can start studying astrology, for example. 8th house rules taboo, forbidden psychology, astrology, secrets of the subconscious, you might become very interested in that. Or if you're working in those fields, astrology, whatever, you can have great insights. You can have expansion of your clientele. 8th house can be not just occult, esoteric, conspiracy knowledge of any sort, but great depth of knowledge. If you're a scientist, incredible research. 8th house can increase Jupiter, your income, double, triple, especially through a relationship, or especially through a partnership, or your partners. That's when Jupiter entered my 8th house, I started partnering with others and trying to promote more them than myself, because 8th house is a bit more about others, and the 7th house is a bit more about others than just yourself. So instead of just having only my videos, I started doing interviews with others. 8th house is other people's resources, their talents. So instead of trying to think, how do I do everything alone? When Jupiter is in your 8th house, leverage the potential of others if you're in such a position, or their knowledge, or ask for help and support, and you'll receive it. Whew. A breather. 8th house is also because of stock markets. You can have more gains from stock markets, investments. You can receive an inheritance, but that involves the theme of death as well. Eighth house is also death, rebirth. You can have conception. Eighth house is the house of the entrance and exit of life. Entrance is conception, childbirth, children. Exit is, I'm not saying you're gonna die, but there might be the experience of this. But again, it carries a silver lining because somehow it's beneficial for you. Or eighth house, so let not scare you so much with such big themes, is about big life changes. Maybe the world is in crisis, or maybe there is a crisis around, but you end up thriving in it. This is Jupiter power. Well, there is an economic crisis or whatever, who knows what will happen over the next 1 year while Jupiter is in your 12th house, or maybe some other crisis or reversals or a big change in life. Instead of you losing your marbles, Jupiter gives you to have this wisdom to make the most out of a crisis, to mobilize yourself in a crisis or in a big change in your life, because 8th house rules deaths, rebirths, divorces, pregnancies, big changes of careers and so on. You see, it's some of those big changes, but Jupiter says, relax into it. The change will be good for you. Yes, it might be shaky a bit. And with Jupiter in my 8th house, I got pregnant, I divorced, and I got married again, and so on. So, so there is the opportunity for you to gain from other people's resources, to increase your finances in some way, to gain through taxes, through insurances, through inheritances, in stock market, to gain through support from others in some way, or maybe government support or alimony, or also to increase the intimacy in your life. If that's something you're looking for, you become more insightful. Already Scorpio is like an X-ray, but 8th house is even more scorpionic, and Jupiter gives knowledge there. Jupiter 8th house is one of the dark houses where secrets and Jupiter is like light. It comes and illuminates, and you carry knowledge into dark places. So the transformations are coming, but you're gonna have support from others, and maybe even your own ability to cope with changes will be heightened when Jupiter is in the 8th house. And if you want to find out more about what it's relationships for you, because it's such a big topic for you, in my new short tutorial for an hour and a half, I speak about very specific manifestations that happen to the 12 signs when it comes to relationships. For example, Scorpios are more likely than other signs to fall in love with someone from a different religion, or from a different country, from a different race even, or to have secret relationships. And I explain to you why. But usually Scorpio are known, Scorpio rising in particular, and moon, to have very beautiful relationships and partners. And I explain to you, and I even speak about the second partner. Scorpios have a second partner, they can be even more blessed. So if you want to find out more about it, it's just $9.99. Check it out below in the description. It's a very fun tutorial, and the most fun part is explaining why it is like that.